America's barrier islands from Boca Chica, Texas, to the Outer Banks of North Carolina.
Huh.
Poet and naturalist Gunnar Hansen perceives barrier islands not as sand, but as expressions in time of the processes that make them.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
It's beautiful.
Yeah.
Leatherface really has a soft side.
Yeah. How cool is that? I told you I met Gunnar Hansen, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So I was at Orion Festival to see my absolute favorite band, Rocket from the Crypt.
Yes.
I love how this keeps connecting.
Hat tip to Rocket from the Crypt.
Yes. And Orion Fest was put on by Metallica. And each
bringing
member
that back around
of Metallica had their own little thing.
Yeah.
James Hetfield had a car show. Lars Ulrich had a film festival. I don't remember what the other guy had. I think
Kane Hodder?
No, their bass player. It was Robert Trujillo. I think he might have had Extreme Sports guys.
Okay.
I could be wrong. Don't quote me on that.
Sure.
But Kirk Hammett, the guitar player, had legitimately a miniature horror festival.
That's so rad.
So he's got a huge prop collection, and there were original props and recreations from all these classic sci-fi films. And Bill Moseley was there from Chainsaw 2.
Beautiful.
PJ Souls from Halloween.
Yes.
So nice.
Oh my god.
Super sweet.
She's the cutest thing.
Yes. She told me to make sure I had sunscreen on my bald head at the time.
Oh my god.
Yes. Very nice.
The cutest thing.
There's horror trivia. I wanted all kinds of cool horror stuff.
Man.
Yeah. Kirk Hammett yelled at us because we didn't know that Margaret Hamilton was the original Wicked Witch of the West. Yeah, he was he was just hanging out on the side of the stage, in a room that people couldn't see.
Yeah,
and he heard us get it wrong. He's like, "It's Margaret Hamilton," and then just walked back in. It was cool. Kirk Hammett seems like a cool guy.
I mean, I would want to be yelled at by Kirk Cameron for something like that.
Anyway, met Gunnar Hansen there as well.
Yeah,
I was so excited.
How could you not be?
So excited.
The OG Leatherface.
Yes, super nice guy. During the trivia, while I was meeting him, they had a question about The Thing remake. The Thing remake was the answer.
Yeah.
And he said it and then gave me a rant about how The Thing remake was ridiculous because they aren't allowed to have weapons on Antarctica or something along those lines. And I was like, just keep talking.
Yeah,
Grandpa.
just keep talking.
Yeah.
I just want to hear your opinion.
I love this experience. It's great.
Yeah, that's
awesome. So I'm at the hotel. Yes. We left. We saw the band. We left for the day. The only restaurant near us was at Chili's.
Delicious.
I knew I was going to have bubble guts the next day.
Oh yeah, it was gonna be a bad time.
We're sitting at our table.
I'm sorry, I have to interrupt you because they just brought Grandpa down, and so one of these scenes here, it's one of the best. So Sally, we're at the dinner table, right? And so the cook and the hitchhiker and Leatherface, they have now brought down Grandpa. Grandpa has this horrific mask on. And so, when they are gonna feed Grandpa, the knife that they had, I guess they had a piece of tape over the knife here, and Leatherface couldn't get it to cut. He couldn't, it wasn't happening, and the blood tube kept clogging, so she couldn't shoot the blood out when he would cut her finger. So what he did, he moved the piece of tape without telling her, and he actually cut her finger. So she's actually bleeding right here. She's actually hurt.
Wow.
Yeah, so he's actually
legitimately furious.
Yes, so she's in pain.
Yeah.
This whole thing where he's sucking her real blood, her bug-eyed right now.
Yeah.
This is legit.
Yeah.
This is her oh my god, they just cut me. It's masterful. And
love it.
This scene itself, they shot this probably 16-hour days?
So.
Yeah, 16-hour days. It's 100 degrees in that house.
It takes place at night, but they are shooting it in the middle of the day,
yes.
So the house is boarded up to keep the sun out.
Exactly. And so, they have to, the actors have to walk outside because that smell, too. Man, they're vomiting. They're hot. They're scared. It brings it all together to give you one of the most genuine horror experiences.
Some sitting in Chili's.
Yeah, sorry. Bring it back to good old Chili's.
Who walks in? Gunnar Hansen.
Yes.
I'm freaking out.
At a Chili's.
Yes.
Michael Scott would be so excited.
Maybe.
If he knew who Gunnar Hansen was.
Yeah.
But being at a Chili's, Michael Scott's already on board with it.
True. Gets sat in the section literally the table over from us.
Oh my God, I'd cry. I'd cry.
Yeah, I was like, man, he knows that I talked to him today. Like, I like at the time I was like 350, bald head, glasses, and I had a red T-shirt on, so I kind of stood out. I don't say anything.
Yeah, you let the man enjoy his meal.
Right, his meal, meatless nachos. He ordered meatless nachos. I
don't.
It blew my mind.
Leatherface ordered meatless nachos.
Yeah.
I will say, knowing the fact that he's a travel writer and a poet.
Yeah.
Is he also cruelty free? Yes, he
Potentially.
is. Potentially.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which is something that happened to many people who made this movie or who have watched this movie. There are a number of individuals who have been on record as saying, I watched Texas Chainsaw Massacre and I went vegetarian.
Yeah. Oh, I would. 100%.
Tobe Hooper himself claimed to, at points of his life, have been.
Oh, I believe it.
Yeah.
I mean, and Tobe Hooper grew up in a movie theater.
Yeah.
His parents owned a movie theater, and so he was well versed around film.
Yeah.
He knew what made a good movie.
Yeah.
And man, when this comes out, watching this scene right now at the dinner table and watching Sally screaming, and then the cook and the hitchhiker also screaming at her, like bringing it back to that sadistic, like making fun of your terror type thing. That is it gives you that itch you can't scratch.
Yeah.
That like really like, oh, stop it type of thing.
You know how you'll tell something to someone, like say someone's like, hey, do you want to do X thing? Like, do you want to go whitewater rafting? And you're like, oh no, I'm busy.
Yeah.
You always kind of worry that person's going to find out. And they're like, oh, well, what are you doing? And you're like, oh, I have to go see my grandma.
Yeah.
And then you see them later and they're like, oh.
That was grandma's.
And you're like, oh, yeah, it was great. When? What?
Yeah.
This movie is like the worst case scenario call out version.
Oh, yeah.
They told the hitchhiker that they couldn't help. Mm-hmm. And he calls her out at the dinner. He's like, it's you.
Yeah.
You.
Yep.
Yeah. Worst case scenario.
God, that close up of the eye, man.
Yeah. The cook just laughing.
Yeah. No, and like Tobe Hooper also grew up in like a hick town. Mm-hmm. So like he really, when he was like, yeah, I'm gonna make movies when I'm older, he knew how it was done.
And I don't know if hick is a PC term anymore, but I feel like we can get away with saying it in this instance because
he had hickspiration.
That is how he is on record as saying it.
Yes.
In Gunnar Hansen's book.
Yep.
And that's how they refer to it.
Hickspiration.
Yeah.
And I'm going to take that because that's what they describe this movie as.
Yeah.
Are Southern people hicks? Absolutely not. No way. No way. But that's what this is such an exaggeration.
Yeah.
And when that's what horror movies are, just exaggerations.
Yeah.
And so you're exaggerating these backwood cannibal style people, and that's what he set out to do. He's like, I grew up around hicks, and I'm gonna give you the worst of them.
There's so much to watch in this scene.
Oh yeah.
When they show the dinner scene, when they show it from Sally's point of view, and you see the whole family. Grandpa's mouth is just slightly moving. They're all screaming and pointing at her. It's terrifying.
Horrifying. You're sitting there terrified, not tied up, not knowing what's going to happen. You're bloody and everything. And then these four men are just sitting around laughing at you and going to make it 10 times worse. So now what we're going to see is they're going to try to get Grandpa to bash her head in.
Wood, so nice.
What'd you say?
The wood paneling.
Oh, yeah.
I love it.
Again, just admiring the house.
Yes.
Even in this scene, so what we're watching right now is basically Leatherface is trying to give Grandpa, who is in a wheelchair with some like makeshift mask on, they're trying to put the hammer in his hand to bash Sally's head in for her blood. And Grandpa can't hold the hammer because he's frail and weak and everything, but you will in a moment you won't even see, like, it won't be a wide view of the wound. It'll be a very, very close up shot of a bloody gash in like with hair around it. And again, I really think that adds to the fear factor. Yep, there it is.
Yep.
I really think that adds to the fear factor because your mind is like putting the pieces together of he's bashing her head in and then you see it, but you don't actually see him make that wound.
And the cook jumping and clapping in the background.
Yeah, so she's flailing, and we're gone. We're gone.
And it's all build-up.
Yeah.
There's so much tension. Even now that she's away, she jumped out the window.
Yep.
She's got blood on her face. She's torn. She almost doesn't know what to do with herself.
Yeah. Yeah. What do you do?
Yeah.
I just jumped out the window. I'm bloody. I'm hurt.
Yeah.
What would you think to do in that situation? You wouldn't, because we're not in that situation, yeah. But like, you want to think that you would be running. Yeah. That you got it, that you're gonna...
she starts moving when she sees the hitchhiker.
Yep.
Edwin Neal.
Edwin...
Fantastic.
Yes. Edwin Neal, man, he did an incredible job. Mm-hmm. Honest to God, man, I think, honestly, I'm more scared of him than Leatherface, if I'm honest. Because he's just, like, crazy. Yeah. And even though Leatherface...
You know what to expect from Leatherface. You do. See him. Yeah. Because it's the mask.
Yes.
You know?
Exactly. But, like, with the hitchhiker, man, you don't... Like, he's wild. He's
She got progressively bloodier on the front as she was running down the hill. Yep. That's funny.
Yeah.
I never noticed that.
Oh, I love this.
Oh, there's the semi.
Yeah.
Oh.
Hits the hitchhiker.
You know, I feel like that scene could have contributed to the R rating.
Yes, absolutely.
Little Black Maria.
It is a fantastic scene. It is one of those things where I'm like, yes, get him!
One of the few Blu-rays that I still own is Texas Chainsaw, and it's the Black Maria Special Edition. It comes in a cardboard semi-truck.
Oh my God.
Yeah. Yeah.
This is one of those things. I love scary movies. I love horror because I always want to be like, I would do it better, or I would do this in that situation. Yeah. I will say one of the things that drives me bonkers is like, they were in the semi, drive away. Yeah. I mean, just drive away. Yeah. But this is also one of those scenes where the actors had to be really, really careful, mm-hmm. because you're going to start to see Leatherface kind of flailing and almost looks like dancing around with the chainsaw. But they just said, you know, you have to do something. Yeah. We have to end this, do something. And so they had a 5-foot radius around him and just let him flail with the chainsaw. Yeah.
He totally improv that.
Yes, he did. It was all improv. Yeah. It was amazing. It's amazing that's what you think of, and that's a scene that sticks out in your mind.
So, Texas in the 70s, the truck driver in the blue pickup who picks up Sally stops for Sally, then drives the other way, leaving the Black Maria truck driver running.
Yes, yeah.
Probably still running to this day.
Yes, yep. Legend has it. Yes. He's still running. Yep, and here it is. Here's
if you
this
listen
dance.
Carefully, you can hear him in the wind.
Yep.
These white people are fucking crazy.
And then that was it. You just saw Leatherface just like dancing around with the chainsaw just to end it. Here it is. He did actually cut himself too. Mm-hmm. Yep. He did actually get hurt with that chainsaw. Yeah. Leatherface did. And that's it. The end. Texas Chainsaw 1974.
Marilyn Burns, Alan Danziger, Paul A. Partain, William Vale, Terry McMinn, Edwin Neal, Jim Sydow, Gunnar Hansen, John Dugan. Yeah. Window washer, Robert Corton.
What a...
head. That's actually his head.
What?
Not prosthesis.
Oh my God.
Yeah. Yeah.
What?
In the book, Gunnerface says he's an actual mentally disabled person with a head deformity.
Wow.
Yeah. Yeah.
Do you know that for this, Gunnar Hansen actually did go to mm-hmm. psychiatric facilities? Yep. He watched mentally handicapped and mental patients, like, watched their mannerisms, listened to how they spoke, and everything.
Picked up a lot of their movements. During the dinner scene, you can see his hands like flailing, almost flapping. Yeah. Yeah. There's all kinds of really good character work there. Yeah. Gunnar Hansen put everything into it.
He really did.
First movie.
His first movie? Yeah. God. Oh. What a note to hit. Mm-hmm. How do you top it? You know what I mean? It's like you can only go down from there if you put like your best performance on screen.
And
your
he
first
will tell you it went downhill from there.
Oh yeah. Oh, I bet.
More Gunnar Hansen story.
Okay.
Post Chili's.
Yes.
Go back to the hotel.
Okay.
I had to go to the front desk for something. I think I wanted to get I don't know, like a pillow or a towel or some shit.
Sure.
As I'm walking the hall, who's coming from the front desk?
Nuh-uh.
Yes, Gunnar Hansen.
You're staying in the same hotel?
Yes.
Jesus.
Yes. Yes.
I would think he's stalking you.
So at that point, like, and it's a long hallway. It was in Detroit, and it was like right off the highway there somewhere. I don't know where. I don't fucking know Detroit. But it was like right off the highway. So it was a big hotel with a convention center in it.
Yeah.
Even though the concert was like at an